Hey real estate investors, today we're going to be covering one of the most defining issues in real estate today, barriers to entry. With the launch of AllSet, which is our AI-powered real estate platform, on this channel we're going to be covering content all related to real estate. We're going to be taking a look into the top 3 barriers of entry that block millions of people from becoming real estate investors. Let's check it out, as well as some other defining barriers as well. So one of the main issues is check size. Now, if you really want to generate rental income from a decent property, in a lot of popular states such as New York, California, and even Texas right now, you're gonna need at least $500,000 to work with. For years on years, you're gonna have to save up for a mortgage to get that house that you want. Now, this is quite expensive and it's not getting any easier as time moves on, which brings us into our next topic. Looking further into mortgages, with the recent actions of the Federal Reserve raising rates to 6 to 7% and the average ROI of a property being 5 to 10%, you can easily see that this really does not work in the favor of real estate investors. This is quite inefficient and very unrealistic if you're trying to get actual returns. Now, if you're into owning real estate just to own real estate or have something pretty to look at and have no gain in your investment, that's one thing. However, that person does not exist. Now, add in repair costs, depreciation, etc. At this point, you're just paying to lose. Now, in the good old days, you get that mortgage rate of 2 to 4%, you make 7 to 10% on your property, and you take home that ROI of 5%. Straightforward, right? But nowadays, with these high interest rates, it's just not the case. And as you would expect, access to mortgage, especially in the international real estate space, is super inaccessible. Now, another main issue is quality of choice and limited capabilities. In the international real estate space, you're going up against real estate professionals that usually build large teams in these conglomerates that have all this expertise, access to financing, alternative financing, and it's just very unrealistic for individuals to go up against. You're going to be really competing with these firms that have all the access to the best locations and really know how to work the numbers in their favor. Now, for small-time investors trying to navigate these icebergs, it's like a tugboat going up against a U.S. aircraft carrier. Not very fair. As an individual investor, odds are that you don't have access to these large teams with experience, capital, know-how, and have this realistically land in the profitable range from 3 to 5 years for you. So a solution needs to be found. For example, even more than 68% of real estate investors lose on those real estate investments rather than make a return from the obstacles listed above. So now you're probably thinking, it's probably not a good idea for the average individual to become a real estate investor. However, real estate investing is still one of the best ways to generate consistent long-term wealth, and it's still moderately risky when you compare it to stock market investing, for example. Now, it's quite easy to invest in stock market, and it's become quite popular in the retail investing space with ease of access. However, it still remains true that real estate investment remains one of the most dependable long-term investments for the average individual. After observing the issues brought upon with real estate barriers to entry, you can see that it affects quite literally every individual on earth, and not many issues affect every individual on earth. Now, with our product under AllSet, in just 2 clicks, this really levels out the playing field between the individual investor and these investment funds and conglomerates, which seem untouchable. AllSet's AI provides real estate investors with a much more intuitive array of options compared to traditional real estate teams. For example, the first thing that is removed as a barrier of entry is the cost barrier of entry. So real estate investors can buy properties for as little as $10 a piece. This also provides instant liquidity and allows people to rebalance their portfolio. Now, what does this mean? You can instantly buy and sell properties. Now, this opens a gate for no-hassle turnkey properties that are managed by our team of real estate professionals that guarantees a % of income every year. To crown it all, our solution is truly global. There should be no reason, whether you live in Manhattan or Kansas or Oceanside, California, why you cannot invest in respective regions. Everybody has something to provide and share with one another. When you look further into financial barriers of entry, there are a few subcategories that really stick out. High down payments and closing costs are particularly challenging for individuals looking to buy international real estate. When it comes to the financing scheme of international real estate, it's a bit of a sticky situation. When it comes to down payments, for example, it could be 30% or more of the original cost of the house when purchased. And now this does not exclude extra closing costs as well as foreign exchange rates and transaction fees internationally. Closing costs can include a wide range of extra fees. This includes legal fees, title fees, as well as transfer tax fees. This can be as high as 10% of the purchase price of the home. And that's just the beginning. So different lending standards and credit requirements between countries, as well as within nations themselves, makes it very difficult for international real estate investors or potential future buyers of real estate to really get financing options that suit them. When it comes to how expensive different markets are, in many attractive markets, international buyers are going to be the first people to be priced out of those markets entirely. And another terrible thing as well is speculative markets that also inflate prices well beyond where they should be. Now, with our platform AllSet giving you the option to buy property and shares of those properties, which is really fractionalization for as little as $10, doesn't always mean it's going to be a massive gain to begin with, but this sets you at least where you are in your investment criteria and see where you play within the other market players, as well as what really is a fit for you and what you see as a growth potential in different markets here. Now, this is a realistic way to get your foot in the door, as well as learn about the markets that you want to invest in or buy property in entirely or a piece of in the future. Now, with knowledge barriers in the context of international real estate, you're going up against a wide range of barriers here. It's like a boxing match. Like, you're going against these laws and regulations, cultural norms, which is a really big one here that you can't really cut the line in. I mean, people grow up in these countries, different regions within those countries as well too, spent their whole lives building that culture as well too, and it may not be a fit for you or it may take a very long time to get proper information on that, as well as market conditions, which also vary region by region and not just only country by country. Now, as one can expect, there's a lot of discrimination and bias that you'll be met with coming in as an outsider for finding a great property, whether it's for investment or buying. This doesn't necessarily mean that you're not welcome, but you don't know where you need to go, who you need to talk to find the great property so that you avoid losing the ability to have the proximity to great amenities, schooling, and a lot more. With the language and cultural barriers, this seems like a really big issue when you want to buy a property and truly live there. Maybe you're raising a family, whatever it be, you really have to make sure that you are in the right fit with the cultural norms, religions, every single aspect of the day-to-day life. The differences in standards as well as valuation methods between countries is also a very significant barrier when it comes to property valuation. And you could bet your bottom dollar that this discrepancy is going to be used in full effect to the advantage of the selling party, as well as these real estate investment funds and conglomerates that have access to the real know-how of where the valuation is for any given region, a country that you're going up against as an individual investor. So imagine just walking into this, you're trying to buy a property that should be valued at, let's say, $500,000. You end up paying $750,000. Let's bump it up, maybe even $900,000. This is not unheard of. I mean, this is pretty common practice as well with overvaluing these properties where you really have no say when you did not have that access to where the true value and price should be. Now, the proprietary system within the AI of AllSet scans these popular marketplaces and really looks into these real estate developers' booking systems. This is also looking into the leading brokerage firms and how they operate, because that's really where the true value of these real estate investments are going to be. And it helps to identify those investments to our potential investors. So a really great feature right now with the proprietary AI system is that it offers us to provide instant liquidity for these investments that are selected by the AI system. It's been outperforming the market as well by 82%. Now, a massive blunder to the individual when it comes to real estate investing is risk management. Now, this is something very keen to firms, real estate investment firms that have this experience and corporate structure. Now, when it comes to the individual, you can imagine there's not much experience and there's a very great lack of access to proper risk management. With AllSet, it's pretty straightforward. You could sell any fraction of your property at any point of time without any obligation. Over time, this strategy is a better option than taking out a loan or, say, selling out the property entirely at any point. So this way, it gives you a better way to really control your property. You're getting a percent of the income it generates, as well as you get a real way to take out your cash and use it as you will. Another issue is just limited property availability. You could think of this as like a game of musical chairs. Just like in musical chairs, there are less chairs than there are people to sit on those chairs in the game playing, right? So with international real estate, you can imagine there are many more buyers than there are properties available for those buyers. So this being said, buyers and investors alike, when it comes to international property, must act fast and be very flexible when it comes to acquiring their property, as well as long-term investments in said properties if they don't want to outright buy it. So what does this mean for you? Now, these subcategories of barriers to entry in real estate and international real estate really pose these obstacles for individuals and families trying to access real estate. This is not an issue that is brought upon to these conglomerates, real estate investment funds, or high net worth individuals. This being said, truly addressing these barriers is going to require a multifaceted approach. There's no real one solution or one player in the market that can really fix things for everybody. There's no government that's going to fix things for everybody. Really, it's really going to have to be multifaceted. This involves legal, financial, cultural strategies. Really big thing here on cultural, because everything kind of fits in there. Everybody talks about technology, legal, etc., but really the cultural ties have to fit in as well. It's really overlooked to have this and promote inclusivity and access for all individuals. So thank you for tuning into this first episode of All Things Real Estate with AllSet by Xillion. We're going to be striving every single day here to bring you the best version of our product and continue improving to make sure to get you out of the hassles of the traditional real estate market. You're going to be saying hello to instant liquidity at the forefront of personalized real estate, cutting edge technology.